Every man is a liar and a dog. I believed that. So naturally, I tried to hurt him before he got the chance to hurt me. He came home from work that night, saw shoes that didn't belong to him, heard noises that could only mean one thing, walked into our room and found me there, in bed, with another man. From the moment life began for me, there was nothing easy about it. The year I was born, a year that should have been mine, tragedy struck. My brother took his own life. Was it because of me? I'll never know. But it led my parents into a downward spiral. Children learn more from what parents do than what they say. So when my parents dived headfirst into using, sleeping around, and hurting people, well, you can imagine how 2-year-old me followed in their footsteps. But no matter how hard I tried to get their attention, my parents would often forget I existed, too shattered at the fact my brother was now gone. Sometimes I'd get frustrated at my brother and how he robbed me of a happy, normal life. How he left a hole so deep, so irreparable, cast a shadow that I had to live under. Yes, I blamed my brother who I never met or took the time to understand. But I needed someone to blame for all of this. And who better than someone who wasn't around anymore to defend themselves? Without a real parental figure, I was forced to grow up, quickly, surrounded by lit cigarettes, questionable noises behind closed doors. This was just life for me, until I visited a friend's house, a normal house, and realized just how screwed up my life was. But I was still a kid, just trying to cope. So I picked up those lit cigarettes, just like Mom, to calm myself. I just wanted to be normal. I remember when she was around, Mom would always fight me on it. But I mean, she wasn't any better. I even asked her once, and she told me, I do speed. And so, this was my life cycle. I had grown so accustomed to it that what started as sadness eventually turned into a deep seed of rage. My parents would make sure to train me if I ever got questioned by my school, by anyone. You never tell them what goes on at home, or else they will take you away from me, okay, sweetie? She would say. And school wasn't any easier for me. I was bullied often there too, until eventually I had enough. It became an outlet, beating other kids up. It was something that I could take out all of my frustration on, and boy, was I good at it. As I got older, my mom got even deeper with the gangs, and I followed suit. Partially because I wanted to look after my mom, and partially because I didn't have much other choice. Deep down, I was still just a scared kid holding on to what little mom I had left. And so, we strayed further from normalcy. I started running with a local recruitment clique for a big gang out where I live. I was fighting girls just for looking at me funny, and continued on and on. It's funny, I was in so deep, I found myself at the top of the chain, recruiting other kids into this life. Some part of me knew this was wrong, that I was destroying lives. But some other part of me believed I was saving them by bringing them into this little family. And that's what they tell you. That they're your family. That they love you. And will always be there for you. They tell you that they have your back. It's what made me stay. It felt like a family I never had. For us, normal chores like grabbing the mail became code for picking up the goods. Setting the table was arranging the cash and goods, and taking out the trash was for dragging out the not-so-lucky people out onto the streets. But it's all a lie. Every chance to move up, you take it, even if that means turning on your own mom. And that didn't sit right with me. In my area, we had kids who swore up and down that they were from the hood and wanted to be gangsters. So my house became the testing ground. We'd bring him over and just let whatever happened, happen. Usually my mom's best friend would show up and just go off, thrusting his head through my closet door, doing all sorts of things to scare these kids, test them as recruits. He even shot holes through the wall asking if they were scared. But by then, they were either in or running at the door crying. I remember me and my boys just laughing our lungs off, calling them wusses. Then, I met this guy, Arthur. I was 18. He was older, more mature, and he really tried to love me, understand me, pull me out. He'd take me on dates, show me that a normal life was possible with him, and so I returned the favor. I tried, if not for him, then for my mom. I moved out of my house and joined a job program. I was an adult now. My mom and my brother weren't excuses for what I did anymore. And so I fixed myself up, brush my teeth, take a shower, wear something clean, and show up on day one. Things were looking up until they brought in the urine test. I test positive, obviously. And now I'm back to square one. Maybe even worse off because I'm blacklisted. And so I fall back into my old habits. I spiral out of control. I just wanted to feel numb. I found comfort in sleeping around with multiple men because I simply did not care anymore and vowed that no one could ever hurt me again. Men just became another thing I used to numb the pain.